personally, things are getting like, you know, worse and worse. And at that time, I'd kind of moved away from making jewelry as a profession, and I had started doing some personal training and getting certified in that regard and actually doing pretty well. But this was around like 2010 now, and then that's the year that I got sober. I had a turning point and reached out for help, you know? And, you know, from that day on, it was like a day at a time, like things did get better. And it was definitely a slow process. I probably didn't touch any jewelry for like a year. I was so deeply sad that I wasn't doing it anymore. I wasn't willing to let it go. I wanted to, but I was afraid. It's like, what if I fail again? You know? I ended up moving from like New York to the Boston area, and I'm living with my now husband, and we're in a 500 square foot apartment, and now my bench is in our kitchen, and he's basically like, so if you're not gonna use this, like maybe we could like put it in storage, like, and I'm like, okay. You know, like, I think it was kind of like the final push I needed. And from there, it's just been like very slow progression. I had this attitude now of like gratitude about it. Like, oh, now I'm like doing this. I'm so thankful I can do this. Like, what a gift. But you know, if I can like make some pieces and there are people out there that love them and want to wear them and cherish them, like, that's like amazing. You know, like that to me is like truly success, when you can just create some art and have people appreciate it and like wear it, and like there's nothing better than that, you know? From there, you know, got married, and we decided that we were gonna move down here to Providence, Rhode Island, because it's like more affordable living. My husband's from Rhode Island, and like I absolutely love it here. And a lot of like beautiful life stuff happened. Like I got pregnant, had a kid, I got pregnant, had another kid. So now I have an almost 4-year-old, almost 2-year-old, and like during a lot of that time, it was like my main focus is my family, taking care of my kids, but like part of my self-care has always been doing my work. You know, as long as I can just like stay in the game and like just keep, you know, keep making small steps, even just like keep getting better as a jeweler, like increase my skill sets. I'm like, well, by the time that they're a little bit older, I am gonna gain more time back for myself, and then like I'll be that much better at what I'm doing, you know? So I started Metalsmith Society in February of 2018. So it's really only been just like a little over a year. I'd had this really challenging repair, and I remember thinking like, man, I wish I had like a group of jeweler friends that I could like talk to about this. But I'd spent so many years out of the game, and also like had been so isolated that like I didn't have really many people that I could turn to. But I had like an old coworker that, you know, I remember I emailed her and I was like, can you help me out with this? And she was so helpful and just like willing to share her knowledge with me. And I remember thinking, I was like, what if I could just connect with other people like this that are willing to help one another and like share things that, you know, it's nothing like proprietary where we're like, how did you make this design that's unique to your collection? I don't want to know that, but like troubleshooting. There's something about like, you are vulnerable when you're asking for help, because you're admitting, I don't know everything. I don't, and I still don't. So it's like you're putting that out there. And so then to have someone be like, it's cool, like, let me show you this way, maybe you can try it. It's just like, it's wonderful, you know? I started looking around on Instagram, and I would search like jewelry tip of the day, like hashtags and stuff. And I'm like, there must be people already sharing stuff, because it's not like this was an original idea. There have already been these jewelers that were like generously sharing and giving glimpses of how they did things. So I would reach out to them and I would be like, do you mind if I share this? You know, because I'm just kind of trying to put a page together. And they were all like, yeah, go for it, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible, like, because it grew like in a way that I never dreamed it would. And I think the biggest reason that I feel it's so successful is that I get messages all the time from people that are like, I'm new to this, and like, I so appreciate, you know, what you're doing, but that they also just say they feel safe asking questions. Be like, oh, what about this? And not feel like someone's gonna judge them. Like, that's amazing. I'm grateful for how kind everyone is, and how generous. And I like often say, you know, because people thank me a lot, but I have to in turn thank all of you, because it's like, if it weren't for all the people sending their tips to me or saying, yeah, go ahead and share that, like, and all the like masters that came ahead of us, like, the page would be nothing. We've become this new generation of jewelers where like, we're not gonna be like the magicians that die and like take their, you know, their tricks with them. It's like, we're gonna pass it on and hopefully be a little more open. And that's kind of the story of it.